Welcome to the AW Confidential podcast. I am so excited about today's guest. Anyone who knows me knows that I have been known to enjoy a cigar and a scotch now and then, once or twice a year, I'd say. Today's guest has an appreciation for cigars and is carving a path for women in the cigar industry. Candace Ford is a philanthropist, entrepreneur, and CEO of LLC Cigars, a cigar line that caters to female smokers. Candace, a cigar smoker herself, was named one of Houston's top 50 entrepreneurs, and she's breaking barriers to encourage confidence and respect for women in the industry. And for those who, like me, enjoy a little smoke now and then. Candace, welcome. Thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited to be on your show today. I really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to, our
Oh,
good.
absolutely. Oh, we're just gonna have some fun.
There we go. I love fun.
So I did a little bit of, I do a little bit of reading before I do my interviews. I like to be prepared.
Uh-huh.
So cigar smoking was really common about 100 years ago,
Mhm.
but it's still, I don't know if it's as common, but it's definitely become a sign, I'd say, of sophistication.
Yes.
And the one thing that has remained constant is that the industry is male dominated.
Mhm.
You decided to start a line of cigars that
Huh?
caters to us.
Mhm.
Now, that must have been really difficult. I find, like, through the years, I have found that one of the things that was a little not discouraging, but it's, I want to say off-putting a little bit, but
Mhm.
I found it difficult to find girlfriends that enjoyed the indulgence with me.
Right.
And you decide to, start a line, which I love. Do you find, or are you finding there are more females becoming interested in cigars? Like, what is the demand like in the market? And the second part to that question is, what has been your biggest hurdle starting
Okay.
a business like this?
Okay. You'd be surprised at the amount of women smokers that are out there now. You go into these lounges and you may see like 75 to 80% of women smokers. Women smokers are becoming more of the marketplace for buying cigars, and which is one of the reasons why I wanted to create my own cigar line for women, is because what a lot of people don't go, that when making a cigar, 95% of each cigar has been touched by a woman, whether it's from the picking the leaves to the fermentation of the leaves to the rolling to the packaging. Everything has been touched by mainly women. So we only see the men smokers, but the women are the one who's actually created every cigar that we basically smoke. And a lot of people don't know that. So I wanted to bring, that to the forefront and bring women to the forefront, because it's a lot of women smokers out there. Like, now we're bossing up with it and we're not worrying about what no man is saying or thinking, because we are a major part of that industry now, especially where the dollar is coming to play. Women are more of the buyers of the cigars now
I
than in.
love to hear that. Now,
Yes.
coming into an industry like this that, it's predominantly males, did you get any pushback or, in the industry at all? Like, what was that like for you?
Honestly, I didn't. And surprisingly, like, most of my help came from men. Like, my mentor is actually a man, and he's put me in certain situations and has really educated me on the cigar business, because doing it, it's hard. Like, that, which is one of the hurdles that I run into. I'm kind of like a homebody. I like to stay home and smoke my cigars on my patio. But being in this business, I have to get out more and, push my cigar. So that has been a hurdle for me. Also, you have to go into it loving cigars. I mean, because you're always not going to make the money that you want. So for me, I mean, of course I want to make the money, but I love cigars. So it's a passion behind it. So going in knowing that I have to put in a lot of work outside to make my cigar business what it is.
Now, it's funny, you sort of beat me to it. I read that you tapped into your network for male support and advice as you built your business, which you just mentioned. What has been the best advice that you've received from any of the men in your network as far as starting a business? Because it's hard, no matter what you get into, it's really hard to start a business being an entrepreneur.
It really is. And some of the best advice that I got was staying with it. Because you're gonna get like a lot of no's sometimes when you go to cigar lounges. Like,
It's part of the
can you
process.
mhm, can you put my cigars in there? Because a lot of them already cater to the bigger name brands, and like LLC is considered like a boutique cigar franchise because we're smaller, we're less than maybe 5,000 cigars, so we're considered boutique cigars. So some of the best advice I got was you're going to get a lot of no's, but keep pushing. Once you get those yeses, make sure you continue to go into those cigar lounges and see where your cigars are placed, how they're doing. Don't just go put them in a lounge and then leave and then kind of forget about it. So some of the best advice I got was just to follow up. And I think everybody should follow up whatever business you're in. Follow up with your product, follow up with your service to make sure, that stuff is being promoted as it should be.
And what's being said, right, by the consumers. That's
Exactly.
important. That's important. I
Mhm.
love that. That's great advice actually, because I think sometimes you just sort of think about putting the product out there, but you have to know what's, on the other side of that and what people are thinking and saying and what the feedback is. So that's really great advice. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Want to make sure that people are liking it, like you said, from the consumer. Because if it's just sitting on a shelf, then that means nobody's
Yeah.
liking it. Allows you to go and regroup and see what I can do, to get my item or merchandise sold.
And it's also you can take a lot of that feedback and improve your product, right?
Absolutely.
Ah,
Yes, that's
okay.
it.
Now, LLC, and it's funny because when I first heard it, I was like, LLC. I mean, I know what an LLC is,
Exactly.
but LLC Cigars stands for Lady Loves Cigars, and I love that. And you've been a cigar smoker for 15 years.
Yes.
So I'm curious, when was that love like for cigars born? And then I have a follow-up question for you.
Okay. Growing up, I used to see my grandfather and uncles smoke cigars, and I always like, I know strange maybe, but I like the smell of it, even when I
Oh,
was
I
young.
can I do
So,
too.
yes. So I was as I got older, I like to drink coffee with my cigars. I know people may do like a cognac or a rum or
Scotch,
whatever,
scotch.
scotch, of course, but I prefer like a coffee. And then one day I was just like, I'm going to create my own line. And it just took off. It just, because I use cigars as my way to chill, to relax, to just
That's
decompress.
that ritual, right?
That's my,
I love
and
that.
it just clicked to me. I was like, I love cigars. So why not create something, that I know that I'm going to be passionate about?
So I have a question for you.
And
Now, we know you love LLC cigars. Those are your cigars. So you smoke those.
yes.
But aside from that, what's your favorite cigar?
Oh wow. I like a Gurkha. I like a Davidoff. I recently tried another lady cigar line, and it's funny. She has a cute name. It's called
Mhm.
Drunk Chicken, and I love her cigars because I'm more of like a Dominican smoker, but
Have you?
she gets her from Honduras, and I actually
Oh,
like.
wow.
So it was because they have different leaves and they have different tastes, whether you get them from DR, from Cuba, Honduras, Nicaragua, they all have different tastes. And I found like I started liking it because I'm a seasonal type girl. Sometimes I may smoke a Panatela in the spring, or come fall, I may do like a Robusto. So it's like a seasonal thing. And I found that, I'm liking the Honduran cigars.
I've never tried one. Have you
Mhm.
tried Arturo Fuentes? Those are
Yes,
Dominican.
yes,
Ah, those are awesome. Yes,
yes.
yes.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. I love it. Now,
So,
I can't I can't let this interview go without you sharing a bit about LLC cigars. Maybe tell us a little bit about the seed, the wrapper, the different ones you carry.
okay. I have five different ones. I have and I kind of named them after like a LLC business. I have the CEO, which is a Panatela. I have a Founder, which is a Robusto, a Corona, a Churchill, and a Toro. They're all Dominican puros, so that the wrapper, the binder, and the leaf are all Dominican. So that's the route.
Ah, and you know que yo soy dominicana, I'm Dominican, so I love that. So thank you for,
Yeah,
we love that love.
they're one of the ones that I mean, although they may have like some Cuban seeds,
Well,
the
everybody thinks of Cubans, right? When they think about cigars. So I'm glad that, you're showing the world that there is more out there. And the fact that you mentioned Hondurans, I didn't know that.
yes, yes. Hmm.
Okay, I love that. I love that. Now, I have to ask, you have a thriving business. You're keeping really busy, but we have to say you're a mom and you're a
Yes,
wife. And
yes.
in addition, you empower girls and you do that by helping them lead purposeful lives through
Mhm.
your platform. Can you share a bit more about this mission and why it's important to you?
Um, it seems like everything that I do is driven by women empowerment. That's just something I've just thrived on forever. Just showing the strength of a woman and the power that we have in being a woman is something that I want to teach young girls. So once you get them at a young age, then they'll naturally become powerful, confident women. So I've always thrived on, bringing women to the forefront, showing our strength, showing our knowledge, and what we can do in numbers.
Oh, I love that. Well, thank you. I have a 21-year-old and I know the importance of empowering young girls. So
Yes, we have.
we have to do that. Absolutely. Now, one
Mhm.
of the things that I love to do at the end of interviews is share a quote, mantra, or piece of advice for our community. You
Okay.
are a boss and you represent empowerment. I mean, your vibe, what you're doing, it's amazing. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of course. Now, I want to ask you,
Mhm.
what do these four words mean to you? Confidence, power, control, and strength. And what is the best advice you can offer us to tap into these four magical words?
Confidence, power, control, and strength. The first thing that comes to mind to me is intention and being
Oh, I got chills.
intentional, being very intentional with everything we do. Because I think those four words are the core of you being intentional with your job, with who you are, your self awareness, your business, your education. I just think being intentional with everything that we do will dictate the outcome. And I guess my mantra, one thing I want people to know, or my mantra would be never to quit. The only time you can fail at anything is if you quit. So
Mhm.
you can never say that you fail if you don't quit, and just, give it 100 every time.
Well, you are definitely a winner. And I just love everything you're doing and what you stand for. So on behalf of women, thank you.
Oh, yeah,
We need to empower each other and just show each other what we can do. And the thing that I love about you is that you, you bring others with you. You're
absolutely.
not about competition, you're about, togetherness, like bringing us together. And I appreciate that.
Collaboration is key. I know a lot of people don't believe it, but it is key to everything. It's how we succeed, by collaborating with others.
Absolutely.
Mm.
So thank you, thank you, thank you. And before I let you go, I want to make sure that we know how to learn more about you on, your socials, your website. Please share.
Yes, feel free to go follow me on Instagram. It's at LL Cigars. That's LLCIGARS. Facebook, LL Cigars. And you can go to my website. You can purchase. You can learn more about events that we're doing. And that's www.llcigars.com.
Candace, thank you so, so much for being here today and sharing, your mission with us. I'm grateful.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, loves, for joining us on another episode of AW Confidential Podcast. Talk to you soon. Bye.